What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast. Today I want to talk about one of my favorite activities of all time, sleep. We talk about it all the time on here, that sleep is one of the three levers of energy that we have for recovering our bodies, getting our minds right, setting our mood, setting our energy levels throughout the day. And like we talk about countless times here, is that the quality of your results is dictated by the quality of the energy that you're able to expend in pursuit of that goal. So the more energy that we have, the more likely we are to achieve our goals. And if nothing else, just the heightened mood, the elevated euphoria that you have after a really good night's sleep is worth the effort that goes into it. And I was thinking about this. I wanted to share it with you guys because I was reading an article today that found that, what was it? It was something like getting a good night's sleep, like a solid 7-8 hours sleep per night for 4 years, was linked with equal levels of life satisfaction and happiness as though going to therapy for 4 weeks straight and or winning a $250,000 lottery. So another way to think about this is getting good sleep consistently leads to elevated mood and happiness equal to if somebody was just to come up to you and give you $250,000 right now. You'd feel a similar level of like elevated mood and euphoria, right? Now, how long does that last after winning the lottery? Probably not very long. How long does it last if you're sleeping well and consistently? Last forever. Last the entirety of your day. And so I'm just sharing this with you because, again, it reiterates the importance of sleep. Now, here's the truth, is that in the world of entrepreneurship, in the world of high achiever, in this world of like constant distraction and go and like always on culture, there's the hustle porn side of things, which says sleep is for the weak. You can sleep when you're dead, that if you're sleeping, you're not working. And if you're not working, then you're not achieving your greatness, all that stuff. And when you're young, you hear that. You hear that you have to work hard and smart. You have to grind, and it's going to be hard to get the flywheel going. And we think that that's the only way, and is that we have to sacrifice sleep in order to get there. And in a lot of cases, maybe that is true in short-term situations where it's like, I have to grind it out for the next week to get this project done by this deadline, to take it to market, to whatever. It's like the all-nighter. Sometimes you do have to do that, and you have to have that muscle to be able to flex, but chronically becoming sleep-deprived and living a life where you're only getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night, just not ever feeling fully recovered and rested, and not even knowing anymore what that would feel like, the long-term health consequences of that are dire. They are. I think this is going to be linked when we have more data looking back on in the next 20, 30 years. I think that we're going to see that the prevalence of sleep deprivation, like chronic sleep deprivation in the population, is responsible for a significant amount of mental illness and physical illnesses that we are all plagued with. So sleep, we know it's important, but for myself, a couple of years ago, as I started to like transition my mindset around sleep and come around to the idea that it was more important to get good sleep rather than to wake up early and grind, because I used to be on that 5 a.m. wake up, right? Like, you got to be up at 5 a.m. if you want to have any chance of becoming anything of worth, right? I bought into that. And like I've said on past episodes, it was important in a sense that it taught me how to be disciplined and to follow through on something that is not easy, and to hold myself accountable to that, and to every day cast a vote for the type of person that I wanted to ultimately become, which was a disciplined person who could do what they say. Because before that, I had a very bad reputation with myself. I had very low self-esteem because I would make promises to myself and set these high intentions and goals that I just didn't follow through with the daily actions that would actually get me there. And so I ended up really disliking myself. And so the 5 a.m., very important in a lot of ways. However, from a sleep perspective and an energy perspective, I often wonder, would I have been better off getting more sleep so that the work that I was doing could have been even higher quality? And as I started transitioning over the last 2-3 years and really starting to prioritize the sleep side of the equation, one of the things I started butting up against wasn't that I found it difficult to sleep. It was that I found it difficult to give myself permission to sleep. Like I struggle on those days where I sleep until 7 or 8, some days even 9. I struggle on those days when I wake up knowing that my morning is gone, that there's people out there who woke up 4 hours before me and they're already so much further ahead in the race of the day than I am. I struggle with that, and that that guilt, maybe even a little bit of shame, it can set the tone for the rest of the day. Like, that's not a good position to get out of bed thinking you're already behind the 8 ball. And I know this from personal experience because it's something that I still struggle with to this day, giving myself the grace and permission to allow myself the recovery and rest that my body clearly needs. And so this is something that you might have to struggle up against as well. It might be a battle. Not so much how do I set up my environment conducive for better sleep, but how do you actually get to the point where you're okay allowing yourself that time? It's the same thing with vacations. It's the same thing with time off and relaxation. It's the hardest part about vacation is giving yourself the permission to check out, to put the phone aside, to put the email away, put the work away, and say, I'm going to be present, I'm going to be disconnected, I'm not going to worry about those things. It's going to be okay if I don't touch base with it right now. If I don't work on it, everything's going to be okay. The building's not going to fall apart. The business isn't going to implode on itself while I'm gone. I'm not that important to the equation. Those are the real struggles of entrepreneurship and just being a peak performer in general, because we're driven, right? Like, you're probably a type A, and if not a type A person, you're probably still just driven to accomplish your goals in a way that makes it very, very hard to find solace and peace of mind when you're not driving, when you're not grinding towards the goal. And yet that time of peace, of relaxation, of taking that distance and zooming out, like, it's critical for your longevity, for playing this game over the long term, which anything worth doing is worth doing for the entirety of your life, right? If it's not worth doing for the rest of your life, then get rid of it, right? It doesn't serve you. Play long-term games, as Naval Ravikant would say. So hopefully this gives you a little bit of value in the sense that you realize if you're struggling with this, you're not alone, that the battle is real. If you are struggling, just know you have my permission, for whatever that's worth, to sleep, to rest, to recover, to give your body what it needs so that you can deliver when the time comes to deliver, whatever that means. So I hope this brings you guys some value. A new perspective, a new shift. Hopefully it gives you a little bit of insight. And if nothing else, just makes you feel that you're not doing it wrong. This is just the game. This is what hard feels like. So as always, guys and gals, thanks for being here. We'll catch you tomorrow. But until then, stay hyper-focused, my friend.